Hey, we're just leaving our hotel, Le Petit Poissons, which I think means the little fish, not 100%. And we just had a very sweet encounter. I came down from the rooms, which are upstairs, into the cafe that's below, and oh fuck, oh my knee. Oh, I can't wait to get to Spain and work on that. I was walking all day and it was fine, but sometimes it'll just hit me. Oof. Walk a little slower and more carefully. Okay, that's fun. So we came down from our room upstairs, and immediately the guy that I was talking to earlier, not the guy who sold me the room, but a guy I met later, he's not the boss. I'm not sure if he's the boss's son, but anyway. He started like waving me over. I was like, okay. And then he got up and he went and got a spoon and handed it to me. And he took me over to the table where he and two of his buddies were sitting. And they had this big plate of couscous. And they gestured for me to try. And we all just scooped our spoons into the same big plate of couscous. That's apparently a tradition here on Fridays. I think Friday might be a holier day than average. Maybe there's Sunday. Apparently everyone eats couscous. So he let me be part of that tradition for free and let me dig in. And luckily it was all vegetarian around the sides. And then they dug into it and scooped out some chicken to try to give me. And I luckily was able to explain in Spanish that I'm vegetarian vegan, you know, and they understand vegetarian more than vegan. And they were very kind about it, just took the chicken back and talked to me about it. The guy was like, oh, but you eat fish. And I was like, no. And then for some reason he went and got me a bag of fish and showed them to me. Maybe he was just making sure, and I was like, oh, no, thank you. And he was like, okay, and he walked off. But it was very sweet, and it was really good couscous. So I was going to a restaurant to get some vegetarian tagine, but now I don't need it so much. But I definitely do need the internet, so that people don't think I'm dead, and so that I can do some planning. I've got my tablet in this day pack, along with my jackets for when I get to a colder, windier area, or as the sun goes down. And yeah, we're in pretty much the heart of Ksar Seghir right now. And check out the view. I'm just like 2 blocks up from the beach on a beautiful day. It's the local police station. Hardly necessary as Morocco's so safe and there's a huge military base nearby. But it can't hurt. I've managed to go a full month now in Morocco without ever having bought sunglasses, despite needing them constantly, because I'm a very smart man. Look at that. Beautiful, although I see a lot of clouds, a lot of dark clouds in the distance. I hope they don't come this way. Fella told me about a restaurant with Wi-Fi. He said it was a big one with a lot of names, like saying that it's a cafe, that it's a restaurant, that it's a yada yada. Which is a little questionable because coming this way the first time, I walked by a place with many names and they definitely didn't have Wi-Fi. But if that doesn't work out, I do know of a place down by the water that does, which would probably be more fun anyway. I was originally trying to get food, and that place didn't really have it. Oh, another super nice thing is when I was talking to the guy the first time, I asked him if there was any place to get beer. I was like, probably not, right? It's hard enough to get that in the big cities. But he he said something in Spanish that I didn't really understand, kind of intimating that you could get it elsewhere. And then when I went and ate with him and his friends, the guy who actually made the couscous, I think, is going to go and get me a couple of them, which is also very generous. Of course, I'm going to have to pay for the beer and probably his time, but I don't expect it to come to much. And it would be nice to have a beer on the terrace if they'll let me do that. They might, want me to keep it in the room. But still, it'd be nice to have a beer on my last night in Morocco. Or 4. It'll be fun to get back to a country with a drinking culture. As much as I love all these ocean-facing restaurants, they leave a little something to be desired when you can't have a piña colada or a local beer while you stare at the ocean. I'm like 90% he's directing me to that restaurant that did not have Wi-Fi. Like 90%. We tried to get some fancier hotel when we first got here, but none of them seemed to have any sort of front desk thing. I walked by them, I tried to press doorbells, and never got a response. But after that very friendly interaction, where they kind of took me into their family, I'm not regretting it, how it worked out. Pretty little town with their cool artsy streetlights. Did we pass the mosque? Oh yeah, that's their mosque. They were praying as I walked past it the first time. And then I went and got a coffee somewhere trying to use their internet, and it didn't work out. And then I saw just basically the whole town walking away from the mosque after the prayers were done. Very interesting social convention. Oh yeah, and I totally forgot. There's some sort of there's an archaeological site, some ruins. It looks like a really rough old wall. I need to find out the history on it, because that's actually another thing to do in this town, other than look at the beach. A little field with some roosters. There are roosters directly on the opposite side of the road from my room. They've been cock-a-doodle-doing all day. He said main square and left, and a bunch of names. I guarantee you it's that place. And they told me no Wi-Fi. So let's do a little walk by these ruins, and then we'll go on down to the beach and go back to our restaurant. Poor street dogs. I've seen a few of them since coming here. Oop, almost walked into a pole. Hashtag streamer life. Not streamer, but vlogger. Oh. Another cafe over there. Oh yeah, so check out these ruins. It's not very big, just in circumference. Could have been a fort or something. Let's see if I can zoom in, show you a little better. Yeah, every so and so you got kind of a more substantial structure. Could have been watchtowers. Right on the coast. So it could have been built to watch out for the Portuguese or the French or whoever they were fighting at the time. Oh yeah, and then there's this whole market row across the bridge. It could be fun to check out, and maybe we could find bit more of a substantial restaurant. I'm not even going to try to find anything foreign. I think it is couscous and tagine, or nada. I've certainly left the touristy part of Morocco. I don't want to walk up to these restaurateurs and put a camera in their face, so we'll stop it here for now. Hopefully do some beach filming either today or tomorrow. Check it out, there's like an old gatehouse there. Something big. Need to find out how I'm supposed to enter that, if you're allowed at all. But yeah, this has been Ksar Seghir. Catch y'all later.